بنرحب بجوليان. Julian, hello man, how are you? Good to see you again.
Oh, great. Thank you for inviting me on here. I'm, very excited and, grateful to be involved with the HH Sports Group and, everything that you're putting together and for everything that you're going to deliver. And to the audience, I'd like to say Ramadan Kareem. I hope I got that right.
Thank you very much.
No problem. And like I said, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. الراجل طبعا بيقول لكم رمضان كريم ومبسوط ان هو معانا هنا في HH Sports Group وهيتكلم وهيجاوب على اسئلتكم. So we've got the first question. السؤال الأول عندنا من علي السبعاوي بيقول مساء الخير، كنت عاوز أعرف الدوري الإنجليزي هيكمل ولا لا. So the first question would be about the Premier League and the current situation. Will it be back soon? What do you think?
For me, I see it's a very, very complicated situation because it's not just a case of saying the season is over, and it needs to be considered people's health, the commercial situation, and also the contractual situation, because the players' contracts, they run out at the 30th of June, and that's a fact, that's law. And if the season starts after this, then it's going to be a very strange situation for players who have to play for teams where they have no contract, because other clubs will not be able to sign them straight away. And also the need to look at to make sure that there are the procedures for testing, players, testing fans, because the games, as you can see behind closed doors, it's nothing without the fans. So the fans are important to make this happen. So I think it's going to take a lot of time for the government, commercial, and the governing bodies to decide. I think it has to come. And if I was going to give you a date, I would probably say it will start maybe August, maybe September.
This year, I mean, to complete that current season.
They will start it. Yes.
Wow.
And I think they will play back-to-back games. In between, maybe 2 to 3 games a week.
All right, that's something. Everyone was talking about. They were talking about maybe to be back in June, end of May, to complete it by end of June because of the contract situation. You said.
Yeah, but what they've got to look at is these players haven't played for a long period of time, so they're going to need some training time in order to get that done. If they can get it done by the October, finish by September or October, it gets a bit of a break and they can start normal. But you've got the World Cup, there's so many permutations that come into it. So it's going to be a case of the clubs deciding and the players getting the backing.
Brilliant, thank you very much. طيب هو بيقول الموقف معقد جدا، في حاجات كتير جدا متشابكه فيها طبعا زي الصحه، العقود، عقود اللعيبه، في لعيبه كتير عقودهم هتخلص اخر السنه اللي هي يوم 30 يونيو. في يعني طبعا مجرد ما العقود دي تخلص اللعيبه دي هيروحوا نادي ايه، هيجددوا مش هيجددوا، يعني هيفرضوا حاجات قيود كتيره على الانديه. الحكومه مع اتحاد الكورة بيحاولوا يوصلوا لقرار، ولكن طبعا عشان يوقفوا انتشار المرض الموضوع معقد شوية. ولكن هو شخصيا بيتوقع ان هو يرجع، بيقول لما يرجع غالبا هيرجع في أغسطس وهيخلص في سبتمبر أو أكتوبر. الماتشات هتبقى كل يومين 3، هيبقى في ضغط جامد جدا طبعا، وبمجرد ان هم لغوا بطولة أوروبا تسهل عليهم حاجات كتير، والأولمبياد طبعا. في سؤال تاني عندنا من خالد صادق بيقول لاحظنا في الفترة الأخيرة مدربين كبار في الدوري الإنجليزي رجعوا يلعبوا بالطرق القديمة زي 3-5-2 3-4-3 زي كونتي مع تشيلسي أو بوكتينو مع توتنهام وأحيانا جوارديولا مع السيتي. ممكن نعرف السبب؟ شكرا يا خالد. Alright, Julian, it's a bit tactics. We're gonna go, everywhere. So.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So I've got from Khalid, he says that lots of coaches they go back to the old formations like recently in the last few years, like 3-5-2, 3-4-3. These type of formations were almost disappeared, and then they're back now with big coaches such as Conte with Chelsea or Pochettino with Tottenham, and even Arsene Wenger done it before with Arsenal in his last days. Pep was with City, does it sometimes. Why do you think they rely on these old formations again?
I think it's going back to a system where everybody is happy to attack again, and if you're going to attack, you need to defend because you don't want to leave yourself open. So the three defenders, it means you've got three at the back to stop the counter attack. But what it does, it goes back to the days of your wing backs or full backs, and now in theory they're wingers. And if you look at it, all the best fullbacks have been ex-wingers.
Sure.
So Dani Alves, Ashley Cole, Roberto Carlos. So they have the attacking mentality, so they can go forward knowing that they still got an extra cover at the back. And if you use the three at the back in its true sense, if you go back to, say, Germany, you go back to Holland, they played with like a libero, a sweeper who would bring the ball out.
Yeah.
So it gives you another attacking option. Again, as much as it looks like it's defensive, it means this guy could go and play as a number 6. He can play in the centre and he can start attacks. Same way Busquets does at Barcelona slightly.
Yeah.
And I think with more players who are foreign coming into the Premier League, it makes sense to play with that adaptability. English players obviously have been taught 4-4-2, but even 4-4-2, the team who played it the most successful were Manchester United under Ferguson. But it wasn't a rigid 4-4-2. They played 4, but Keane would sometimes drop and play into the back 4, take the ball off there.
Yeah.
Pallister or Ferdinand, whoever, would carry the ball forward, so it takes it back to a 3.
Yeah.
So it gives you the flexibility. I think I spoke to a manager who worked in the Premier League, and he said the formations are just numbers and players on the pitch. The situation dictates the play, and the play dictates the situation.
That's actually true. Yeah.
So it's just how they line up. Well, I just think for security they play with 3.
Thank you Julian. طيب خالد، إن جوليان بيقول إن المشكلة مش في طريقة اللعب، هي دي في الأول وفي الآخر هي أرقام مش أكتر. معظم باكين الطرف اللي موجودين هم كانوا أصلا وينجرز، يعني زي روبرتو كارلوس زي ما بيقول أو داني ألفيس، دول أصلا مهاجمين يعني مش مدافعين. ولكن أنت عشان توقف الناحية الثانية لازم تلعب ب3، أو بعض المدربين زي أرسن فينجر اللي كانوا بيفتحوا طريقة اللعب لقوا الموضوع ده. لازم تقفل ب3 تحت ويدي حرية للباكين دول، ما تلزمهمش إن هم يرجعوا يقفلوا. ألمانيا زمان كانت بتلعب بليبرو، طبعا في مصر احنا عندنا الموضوع ده كان منتشر جدا، عندنا ناس عظام قاموا بالموضوع ده، يطلع يوزع لعب. حتى في مان يونايتد لما كانوا بيلعبوا ب4-4-2 الراجل بيقول كان ريو فيرديناند كان بياخد الكرة ويطلع، كان بيزيد بيتقدم يسيب 3 بس وراه. فهي نفس الطريقة تقريبا، ولكن انت ازاي بتطبقها. يعني هو بيقول خلاصة ان كلها ارقام، ولكن انت بتوظف اللعيبة ازاي وبتقول لهم يعملوا ايه. Thank you very much Julian. So we will go to the next question. We've got معانا إبراهيم عبد العزيز، ده وكيل لاعبين من مصر، وبيقول إيه هو السن المناسب اللي يسمح للاعب المصري بالاحتراف في الدوري الإنجليزي، وما هي المؤهلات اللي توفر في اللعب؟ Right, that's a bit of a unique question from a football agent based in Egypt. He says, what is the right age for the Egyptian player to play in the Premier League? It's a bit tricky question. And what is the qualification, what he's supposed to be like? So based on we've got Sobhi or Salah or the likes of these players.
Of course, there is law in place for certain players to travel into the EU and more specifically into the UK, depending on age. I think they've opened it up to 16 years old if you are classed as a special talent. And the club has to pay a certain amount of money into your contract, so they believe in you. So they've got to make an investment. But generally, I think it needs to be, I would say, around 18, 19 as a social thing, because it's a big adjustment for a player to come from a certain culture, a certain country into to England, especially with the pressure of the league. Because even Salah, he came with Chelsea, but he had to go away to come back. And I think him getting a taste of it first, he understood this problem. And then when he comes back, you can see the success that he's had now.
Thank you very much. بيقول بالنسبة للقانون، في عندنا قانون بيحدد سن اللعيب ان هو عشان يدخل الاتحاد الاوروبي او بريطانيا بالذات عشان ياخد تصريح اللعب كلاعب لازم يكون على الاقل 16 سنة او اكبر، ولازم النادي يدفع فيه قيمة معينة لازم تكون كبيرة لو هو موهبة ممتازة. يعني في شوية قوانين بتحدد الحاجات دي، ولكن 16 سنة هو السن اقل سن. بالنسبة هو يعتقد جوليان بيعتقد ان 18 او 19 سنة ده السن المناسب ليه. بيضرب مثال بصلاح لما جه بدري شوية أو رمضان، الناس اشتغلوا، الضغوط بتبقى جامدة جدا على اللعيب، للأسف ما بيقدرش يتحملها، أحيانا لازم يطلع بره في تجربة أقل شوية، يحتك، ياخد الخبرة، يرجع بالثقة اللازمة، يعلم نفسه ويرجع يقدر إن هو يتأقلم مع طبعا السرعة والقوة اللي موجودة في الدوري الإنجليزي. So back to that question, he said, and what he's supposed to be like. So it was like, you think like mentally he has to be like physically like to adapt or to game.
From my knowledge of looking at Egyptian players and from the work that I've seen you guys do, and you've done your showcases and things, the Egyptian player has the technical ability. We know that, and they have good work rate. You know, even Mido, when he was fit, he worked hard.
Yeah.
So, but I think they need to understand that the mentality in England, it's a tough league, and if you don't have the mental toughness to deal with the high pressure games, the high pressure training, there's no day off with training. So they need to understand that every day is like a match. If they can overcome that bit, the natural talent and ability, that will see them through. And they mustn't get too excited about all the media thing that comes around them, because they can take your mind away.
The lights, yeah. Thank you very much. بيقول اللاعب المصري زي ما احنا شفنا طبعا عنده السرعة وعنده المهارات، يعني دي موجودة، كله بيقول لك لاحظها كل اللعيبة المصريين. الناحية التكنيكية مش مظبوطة عندهم، ولكن هو بيضرب مثال مثلا بميدو، بيقول حتى ميدو لما كان لعيب حجمه كبير، جسمه كبير، ولكن كان عنده المهارات، كان عنده السرعة، ساب بصمة كويسة هنا. من وجهة نظره المشكلة هي في الشخصية وتحمل الضغوط، الكلام ده مش موجود عندنا في مصر. اللعيبة بتنهار بسرعة، زي ما طبعا ما شفنا عمره زكي مثلا مشاكل حصلت معاه، أو صلاح في بداياته هنا. فهو شايف إن لازم بس يتعودوا على الضغوط والتمرين، التمرين بيبقى كل يوم، يبقى ده شغلهم، ولازم إن هم ما ينجذبوش حوالين الأضواء أو الحياة هنا في بريطانيا، لأن طبعا الحياة خصوصا في لندن طبعا غريبة شوية عن البيئة بتاعتنا. فمعانا مؤمن صلاح. مؤمن بيقول إيه المعايير اللي ممكن يعملها الاتحاد الإنجليزي عشان الدوري يستكمل؟ Alright, we've got another question here, back to the COVID-19. So what's the measures the FA probably will put so football can go back as it was? I mean, like to suit the current situation.
Okay, they're trying to talk about, obviously there's a big word we use here, is social distancing. So how close you can be to somebody. Now, obviously in a football match, you have to mark somebody. You have to be close.
Of course.
So I don't think it would rely on the players. But so if let's just take there's no fans. Let's just say there's games going on. So the measures would be, I think there'll be testing for the virus at training grounds before the game is played. Testing for the officials. And once that is all done, then I think the games will go ahead. But the problem is the players, they need to make sure that the environment they are going back to at home is not going to come back to the ground. So the players will need to get tested individually before they meet as a group.
Yeah.
And then if once they are past that, they can train. And I think there'll be a test again before the game, and then they'll play.
Perfect. فجوليان بيقول ان في حاجه هنا طبعا اسمها السوشيال ديستانس، دي موجوده في البلد. الحكومه حطت القواعد دي لازم يكون في 2 أو 3 متر بين كل شخص وشخص. دي حاجه احنا عايشينها هنا بواقع، ولكن طبعا ده شيء ما ينفعش في كره القدم. فبناء على ده مش هيقدر يتطبق. فالحل الوحيد ان هم لازم يعملوا تيست للعيبه. التيست ده هيبقى للعيبه وللحكام، ولكن الازمه اللي هو شايفها ان اللعيب لما يمشي ويرجع تاني لبيته، هل هو بيحتك بمين، هل بيقابل مين، فممكن ينقل المرض تاني، او ممكن ياخده من حد ويرجع ينقله تاني لزمايله. فهم بيعملوا تيست، الموضوع يكبر. هو شايف لازم اللعيب يبقى فيه تيست individual، يعني اللي هو individual تيست، اللي هو اختبار لكل لعيب، وبعدين اختبار للمجموعة كاملة، وبعدين اختبار تاني قبل الماتش. How do you see the football when it comes back? Will it be different? Like, will people will be like worried? Will, you know, that what's the impact on the football itself?
Okay. I don't think they'll be worried, because if they're allowed to go back, it's safe.
Okay.
But the impact will be, I think it's going to be more economically. There's going to be a lot of clubs going out of business because they haven't got the resources to if they didn't get the grant, then they have a problem. But here's another interesting fact. On June the 30th, 50% of the players in League 1 and 2 are going to be out of contract.
How many percent is it? 50. 50.
Half of the playing staff in League 1 and League 2 will be out of contract in June the 30th.
Wow, what a big challenge that.
It's going to be a buyer's market. So economically, there's going to be a problem, but I think the actual playing side, there won't be no difference.
Thank you very much. محمد، جوليان بيقول لك ان في اعتقاده ان الكوره نفسها مش هتتغير، مفيش تغيير في الكوره هيحصل. اللعيبه مجرد ما يطمنوهم ويقول لهم خلاص يعني امان انزل العب، اللعيبه هتلعب طبعا، وهينسوا كل حاجه وهيهتموا بالمنافسه تاني. ممكن التاثير الوحيد يبقى بس الجمهور، ان مش هيبقى فيه جمهور في الاول. الازمه الكبيره اللي هو يعتقد هتاثر على الكوره هي الناحيه الاقتصاديه، لان مثلا في 30 يونيو عندنا الدوري الدرجه الاولى والدرجه الثانيه، هنا في 50% 50% من اللعيبه عقودهم منتهيه. وده طبعا هيعمل حرب، لان في لعيبه كتير منهم مطلوبين في انديه تانية. فازاي مين هيروح فين، والاسعار هتبقى عامله ازاي، اسعار اللعيبه والمرتبات. فده طبعا هيعمل ازمه كبيره هنتكلم فيها كتير جدا جدا جدا. So we go about you, Julian, if you don't mind. We say your football career has spanned many years and many teams. Can you tell us about some of the games or situation that stand out in your career? I will say in Arabic first, if you don't mind. Sorry.
Okay.
So جوليان لعب في أندية كبيرة، أندية كتير جدا، قابل ناس كتير، قابل لعيبة كتير. فبنسأله على إيه المباريات أو اللعيبة اللي قبلهم، يعني إيه المواقف الطريفة أو الحاجات اللي ما ينساهاش في الكارير بتاعه. Go on, please.
If you speak to any player, I think they'll always say their professional first team debut is always the big thing. And for me to make my debut as a teenager against Manchester United was, fantastic, because in this team you had players, I don't know if you can see in the picture there, you were like Paul Ince, David Beckham, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, people like this. And that's something that that doesn't go away, because that's what you dream about as a child to play, and then you are there against these guys. But then when I got older, each game becomes pretty much the same, but then it's about the players who you see and you go, okay. And one of the players for me was a Croatian guy called Robert Prosinecki.
Okay. He played.
This guy, he played for Real Madrid and Barcelona in this, back to back. And when I played in Spain for Marbella, this is where you come across these players and you think you're a good player, and then when you train with these guys, you realize there are levels.
Somewhere else.
so I think, you know, the main things that stand out in my mind are my debut against Manchester United and playing against, you know, a guy or seeing a guy like Robert Pozinewski play and train, and you realize this is why some of these guys are the best in the world.
Perfect. Thank you very much. احنا سألناه طبعا ايه في تجربته الطويلة ايه كان ايه المواقف اللي ما ينساهاش وليه، وايه اللعيبة اللي يعني كان مختلفين جدا وليه أثروا معاه. فهو بيتكلم على بدايته، بيقول طبعا البداية بتبقى صعبة على كل لعيب. الأول ماتش احترافي ليه، وأول ماتش احترافي ليه كان ده مانشستر يونايتد، وكان في الصورة مثلا زي ما هو كان ادانا الماتيريال بتاعته لعيبة زي بولينز، زي جاري نيفل، زي ديفيد بيكهام، طبعا أسماء ليجندز في الكورة يعني، أساطير كلهم. ولكن لما راح لعب في إسبانيا لعب قدام لعيب كرواتي، هو قال لي اسمه، أنا مش يعني الاسم تقريبا مش معروف، ولكن هو الراجل بيقول لعب في ريال مدريد وبرشلونة. بيقول دول اللعيبة اللي أنت بتحس إن أنت شفت كل حاجة، يعني أنت شفت كل المستويات تقريبا، وبعدين بتيجي تقابل لعيب من دول بعدين تعرف لا ده في مستوى تاني خالص، يعني اللي هو المستوى الأول في العالم. الراجل sorry Julian, how you pronounce that Croatian player, his name? Prozinewski. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. فهو الراجل بيقول على بروزينسكي، بيقول لعيب مش هينساه ابدا، لعب قدامه لما كان بيلعب في اسبانيا. الراجل ده اكس ريال مدريد وبرشلونة، وكان في مستوى تاني خالص واثر معاه يعني. All right. You were lucky enough to play for both Man United and City, which is not something many have managed. What was the difference? الراجل لعب في مانشستر يونايتد ومانشستر سيتي الاثنين مع بعض، فاحنا بنقول له يعني ايه خبرتك عن الموضوع ده؟ يعني ما فيش ناس كتير عملوا الموضوع ده. Sorry, Julian, please go.
Of course, it was, you know, mainly before the boom in the game, but I was closer to the first team at Manchester City and doing more stuff with the Manchester City first team than at United. But Manchester United, all I can say, when you talk about play development as well, because this is important, Manchester City, even now, when they sign a young player, they want ones who can play as a team. Man United only want the one. They want the George Best, they want the Ronaldo, they want the Giggs. That's what they look for. They don't look for the team player. So it's good when the difference between the club is the culture for Man United is still glamour and individual skill. Manchester City, they look for team players. But the way the clubs are run, they both got big aspirations to be big clubs, obviously.
Brilliant, thank you so much. هو بيقول هو كان أقرب لمانشستر سيتي أكتر منه من مانشستر يونايتد. مانشستر يونايتد كان أصغر شوية لما لعب هناك، ما كانش ما قضاش وقت كتير، ولكن مانشستر سيتي كان أقرب هناك. بيقول الفرق بينهم إن في مانشستر يونايتد لما بيختاروا لعيب أو بيشتروا اللعيب كل لعيب للمكان بتاعه، أو أنا عايز اللعيب ده عشان أنا محتاج المهاجم عشان ده مهاجم، أنا محتاج الباك رايت عشان ده باك رايت. ولكن في مانشستر سيتي بيختاروا أكتر الكي بلاير أو التيم بلاير اللي هو بيلعب، ممكن يلعب هنا ويلعب هنا ويلعب هنا عشان يفيد الفرقة، مش مختارينه بالاسم كلعيب يقضي غرض معين. All right, that's a very personal question as well. So English players don't often go to play abroad. We only see small numbers of players who do this, including yourself, of course. What do you think? Why do you think that's the case here? Is it a language barrier? Is it a comfort? Is it attitude? How do you describe that?
Well, as you mentioned there, I'm still, till this day, the youngest British player to sign a professional contract in Spain. So I signed for Marbella when I was 18.
How do you know that?
And it does come down to culture, because English people as a whole, they expect everybody to speak English. And even when they go abroad, they expect everybody to speak English. English people do not like going out of their comfort zone, especially when they are young. And as they get older, they are now in the habit of just staying in England. Because think, there's people in England as kids who don't want to sign for a team that is maybe 50 miles away. So, and something that's, you know, so it comes to culture. It comes to, they haven't had the knowledge because they are an island.
Yeah.
So they don't travel much, where on the mainland, you can travel more, so they feel more comfortable going into other borders. In England, we still have a fear of this.
Thank you very much. احنا سألنا جوليان بنقول له ما بنشوفش لعيبة انجليز كتير بره انجلترا او بره الدوري الانجليزي. في اعداد محدودة جدا زي شفنا مثلا مايكل اوين او ديفيد بيكهام او جوليان همسلف ان هم راحوا بره وخدوا تجارب احتراف. فهو راجل قال لنا ان هو كان اصغر لعيب محترف يمضي عقد احترافي في اسبانيا، لعيب انجليزي كان عنده 18 سنة وراح ماربيا. فسألناه ليه الأسباب، ليه اللي وصلنا الموضوع ده. الراجل بيقول إن للأسف العقلية الإنجليز عارفين إن هم عارفين قدرهم، عارفين الدوري بتاعهم، ما بيحبوش يتغربوا، يعني مش شايفين السبب. حتى بيشوف لو الفريق ده في مدينة تانية ما بيفضلش إن هو يروح مدينة تانية، بيحب الفريق في المدينة بتاعته. بيتوقعوا الناس كلها تتكلم نفس اللغة بتاعتهم. فبيقول اللعيب مثلا اللي عنده انا راح اتعلم لغه ثانيه واسباني وكذا، يعني ما بيحبوش يوجعوهم، هم مرتاحين في بلدهم بمناسبه ان هم كمان جزيره. فالجزيره مش مختلطين قوي يعني هم بيروحوا بس كسياح يعملوا الغرض اللي عايزين ويرجعوا، مش يعيشوا هناك. Alright, back to Manchester, and how did you feel about the derby? Manchester derby, have you experienced it, and how do you feel about it? Have you got any memories? Is that tough?
For me, I was never part of the full first team for a derby, but I've been involved on the match day as a young player because we're in the squad.
Yeah.
And the pressure is incredible. I don't think it's as strong now, to be honest, because of there's not so many English players and British players playing in the team.
Okay.
But I think they're trying to change that at Manchester United now, obviously. But you don't understand. If whoever wins that game, they own the city until the next time they play.
Wow. Thank you very much. هو بيقول يعني تجربة ما ينفعش تتكلم عنها، لازم تعيشها. ممكن الوضع مش هو بالظبط دلوقتي هو لأن مفيش لعيبة إنجليز كتير في الأندية. في يعني مثلا تشوف مانشستر سيتي هتلاقي لعيب أو اتنين بس إنجليز. مانشستر يونايتد حاليا بيحاولوا يخلوا فيه لعيبة إنجليز كتير موجودين. ويعني بيقول بس يعني اللي بيخسر المدينة بتفضل يعني في مشكلة كبيرة، أو الجزء ده من المدينة بتفضل في أزمة كبيرة لغاية ما يعدوا الفترة دي ويدخلوا على الماتش اللي بعده. Alright.
Can I just add one thing?
Please,
let me just add one. It's the only match where the players leading up to it, they are nervous.
Yeah, no, say again, what's that? The only match?
It's the only match that leading up to the game in training, the week before, yeah. The players are so intense, they don't want to lose that one.
بيقول ماتش الديربي بتاع مانشستر يونايتد مانشستر سيتي ده الماتش الوحيد ان الاسبوع اللي قبل التمرين ده بيبقى فيه تركيز عالي جدا، وبيبقى فيه ضرب، وبيبقى فيه اللعيبه بتبقى متنرفزه، بتبقى خايفه متوتره. يعني ده الماتش الوحيد اللي هو شاف تاثير جامد جدا، حتى يعني ما بيقارنش بالماتشات الثانيه خالص. excellent. هنسال سؤال ثاني دلوقتي عن تاثير الفلوس او تاثير القوه الشرائيه في الدوري الانجليزي، وليه ايه اللي مثلا دخول انديه زي تشيلسي او زي مان سيتي برؤوس الاموال الكبيره، او اللي بيحصل دلوقتي زي ما شايفين في نيوكاسل، تاثيره ايه على الكوره. Julian, another question about the money of the power of money, how it changed the Premier League. So we've seen Chelsea when Abramovich took over in 2003, I believe, 2002, sorry. They got Ranieri and then Mourinho and changed the game. And also we've seen a short, I think it was Portsmouth at some point, and but it didn't last for long. And now we can see Man City, of course. So maybe Newcastle as well. They are in sort of just starting now. So how do you see that? Is that better? Is that ruining the game? What do you think?
Think about it. I always believe the money is a good thing if it's spent well.
Yeah.
Because if you were going out to eat, would you like to eat in the small restaurant or the good restaurant?
Of course.
The one who spends the most money on the chef. Yeah.
True.
So, and it's the same for the fans. They want to see the best players. So if they want to see the best players, the club has to spend money to get the best players. I think what you need to do is make it sustainable, though. If you bring in the big players to buy them to make your team big, you must develop your own to make sure that you've got your own good players coming through. They must benefit too, because if you spend 100 million every year, 200 million, it's not sustainable if you're not producing 3 players at 10, 20 million each time. So it's good, but you need to make sure you invest in the academy also.
Keep the balance. Thank you. بيقول دلوقتي ان يعني بيضرب لنا مثال، وبيقول دايما هو شايف ان الاستثمار في الكوره طبعا مفيد جدا. وبيضرب مثال، بنت دلوقتي عايز تروح تاكل في ريستورانت، فهتروح الريستورانت اللي بيقدم لك اكل كويس الغالي، ولا هتروح في واحد بيقدم لك اكل مش كويس؟ فطبعا كل الناس عايزين الاستثمار، عايزين يشوفوا احسن اللعيبه، عايزين ده. عشان كده الدوري الانجليزي في حته ثانيه خالص، لان في قوه شرائيه طبعا دخلوا انديه كتير بتنافس ما كانوش على الخريطه التنافسيه، ودلوقتي وصلوا ان عندنا عدد كبير جدا من الانديه بتنافس، حققوا طبعا المعادله يعني. ولكن هو بيقول اقتراحه ان لازم تحافظ على الاكاديميه بتاعتك وتصرف عليها برضه، عشان يحصل توازن والبلد بتاعتك تستفيد واللاعبين الصغيرين بتوعك يستفيدوا. Brilliant. The very last question for myself about why. So the very last question for myself, will be why the English Premier League is the best, but the English national team isn't.
Okay. Simple one. The majority of good players who make up the top teams in the Premier League are foreign.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's a simple answer.
Yeah.
Because just a quick one. What happens now? Jordan Henderson, when he plays for Liverpool, he looks up, he can hit Mo Salah. When he plays for England, he's not got the same continuity, the same quality of player.
That's true. That's true. سألنا جوليان سؤال، بنقول له ليه الدوري الإنجليزي هو الأحسن في العالم، ولكن المنتخب الإنجليزي مش على نفس المستوى، ما بيفوزش مثلا بالبطولات زي البرازيل أو إسبانيا، بينافسوا منتخب قوي ولكن مش الأفضل. فبيقول الإجابة بسيطة جدا، إن عندنا أندية القمة كلها معظم لاعبتها مش إنجليز، وده بيقولهم منتخباتهم، فلما بيرجعوا لأنديتهم بعد الاحتكاك ده لمنتخباتهم بيرجعوا بمستوى عالي جدا وبينفع منتخباتهم. وضرب مثال بجوردن هندرسون كابتن ليفربول، لما بيلعب لصلاح بيلاقي صلاح بيجري له كويس، لما بيجي في منتخب انجلترا ما بيلاقيش نفس الكواليتي دي اللي بتجري له او بتعمل له تحركات، فهنا بيحصل الخلل. Julian, do you want to tell us something about your experience with football for football?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you. Football for football comes from my own experiences of when I started having problems in the game with injury, for instance. I started to look for information and I couldn't find it. And I thought to myself, why is there not a single place where anybody who is involved in playing football can go and get the best information? And it can't just be the best information, it has to be validated information. So this is why I put it together, and the information comes from the players, the coaches, and the experts who work at the top of the game. And this information is for free. So if you're involved in football, it can help you whatever area of the game you're involved in and maximize your participation.
And so we advise all our audience to go and join, and you definitely would benefit from that. Thank you. So احنا سألنا
football.com.
and it's always free, footballforfootball.com. احنا سألنا جوليان عن الشركة الخاصة بتاعته، هي فوتبول فور فوتبول. ده ويب سايت فيه كل شيء يتعلق بالكورة. الراجل بيقول لما هو كان بيدور على معلومات كان بيدور في أماكن مختلفة وبيدور على مصادر مش موثوقة، فلقى إن أحسن مصدر أخذ منه حاجة هو لعيب الكورة نفسه أو الدكتور، أو إن هو كان عنده إصابة سنتين في ركبته، لما بيدور على المعلومات ما لقاهاش، يعني كان لازم بيروح لمتخصصين، فقرر يجمع الحاجات دي كلها في موقع واحد، وبينصحكم كلكم ان انتوا تخشوا تشاركوا فيه. اسمه football.com.